Hello, and welcome to the Semi-Professional Podcast. I'm David, and with me today is...
I'm Ian.
I'm Wes.
Let's start talking. So, what's up, guys?
Netflix.
What kind of shows?
Oh, they added Witcher, which I steamrolled through, I think it was 8 episodes this season, in like 3 days.
I've seen 2 of them.
I have also seen all.
They added Tiffany Haddish. She had her first ever comedy show on it, and it's called The Black Mitzvah.
Black Mitzvah.
Because she's Jewish. I didn't know she was Jewish.
I don't even know who she is.
Tiffany Haddish. She's the female comedian that did the Night School with Kevin Hart.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't know her name, but yeah, okay. I know
she's
her.
raunchy as fuck.
The best comedians are.
Of course.
Have you seen Raw Robin Williams?
That's true.
So how far did you get? You got 3 episodes?
Episode 2.
That's 2.
Yep, I got episode 2.
Man, you need to step up.
Yeah, well, I watched them last night for this podcast. And I can only get through so much in a night because my college days are over.
And also, they're actually long episodes. They're actually, an hour almost?
Yeah, about 45 minutes each.
I think aren't they more like closer to 50?
Yeah, around there. They're roughly in that range. Which
They're definite Game of Thrones territory.
Yeah, they are Netflix originals.
Excuse me.
Oh, man.
Excuse me.
So what was your favorite part so far, David?
My favorite part so far was definitely the Bard.
The Bard?
The episode with the Bard is absolutely hilarious.
You're not there yet. You were. I don't know if you. They had it on YouTube a lot. There was a mission, in the actual Witcher games, which is called the Bloody Baron.
Yeah, I played it.
Okay, well, the whole concept is, his unborn child comes back as a monster. Mm-hmm. They actually put that in the show.
Oh, well, damn.
And Geralt seals himself in a castle with it. And, yeah, it's a pretty hardcore fight.
Yeah, you'll find out.
Yeah, can I just say that show took me by surprise with how they're like, yeah, this is combat.
Yeah.
Just, they do not hold back an inch when Geralt fights something.
Yeah.
And I kind of like it. It's actually refreshing to see them just be like, here's how brutal sword combat is.
Yeah, especially the first episode, at the ending when he went off on those people, I'm like, oh, this is this show. Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's like, oh, yeah, well, don't fuck with the Witcher, I guess.
Okay. Was I the only one that was slightly deterred by the fact that he walked in that tower and everybody was naked?
I was kind of confused what the hell was going on for a second when that happened.
I was so confused.
I just kind of accepted it.
I mean, yeah, I knew there was going to be nudity from the games.
But when he walked through, I'm just sitting there going, the hell is happening? Why is it bright? Why is there a tree? Why are people naked?
It's like, well, I mean, I kind of hinted that it wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of hinted that it wasn't real when the door wasn't real.
Yeah, the door was just like a mist.
But it still was kind of like,
okay.
Oh, this is quite the setting change.
So you notice that his hair got better when he walked through?
Of course, he's the Witcher.
Well, outside he's all frizzled, inside it's like pristine and Maybelline.
Yeah, that and his armor and stuff looked all pristine.
Oh, can we mention that? Why in the first episode does everyone just shit all over his armor?
I have no idea.
You need new clothes. It's like, they look fine.
He just got in the town, and he just no one's seen him yet. He's just like, you know what, you look like shit. You probably need some new shit. I'm like, nah, fam.
Okay,
nah, fam,
what is up with the creepy girl? I killed a rat with my breakfast fork this morning.
Yeah, she was just weird.
She just casually talked about the fact that she killed her dog.
Yeah, she was just weird.
Just okay.
Well, they don't. Well,
medieval age,
so they don't really live that long. So you gotta experiment.
Also, where else are you gonna get your food?
Now, my whole thing...
That was horrible.
My whole thing that I've, realized is, for some reason, when there's not, an age restriction on shows, it seems almost like a trope that they put nudity right in the beginning to, people get interest.
I think it's
because they did that for Game of Thrones.
I think it's less so people get interest, and it's more of, this is gonna happen, you might as well know now.
True. They used to do that in, the 90s movies.
Well, yeah, because 90s.
Like
were
if you
90s.
ever watched like any of the 90s movies, they just had nudity just like right in the beginning.
Yeah.
Even in Aliens, the second Aliens movie,
Mhm.
there's
Yeah, the
just,
shower scene.
there's just a naked girl on a poster.
I don't think it was Starship Troopers.
Star Trek Troopers, there's just nudity
Yeah,
everywhere.
so yeah, the Starship Troopers are just in a shower, like in the beginning of the movie.
I don't really like the live action ones. I like the animated ones.
I like the first live action one
That is true. I like
because
that.
it's a bug world. It's a dangerous world. God, that movie is great and campy as shit.
Yeah.
I need to put that to my list.
You've never seen Starship Troopers?
I've only heard of it.
You would love it with your personality.
You'll like the animated ones too.
Here's the difference. The animated ones are cool. The live action one is campy.
Okay.
So they each have their own like brilliance about them.
Mhm.
Like the live action one is like, we are dumb and we know it. The animated one's like, we can be badass and anime.
Yeah.
One of them straight up looks like an anime.
Yeah.
Like a guy sword fights a bug in that animation.
A sort of bug.
Yeah, like those big pit. You've seen what the aliens look
he actually kung fu fights it.
Kung Fu
like. Oh no,
fights a
he
bug.
does. He kung fu fights essentially a walking pair of scissors.
Very good.
Yeah.
He almost wins.
The most anime of things.
I think that's the worst part. Is he almost wins?
That's the best part. Oh my god.
You go crazy.
And there's
man,
also
live on.
nudity in that too.
Well, yeah, 'cause the guy took after the show, the live action.
Yeah.
Of course. Oh, any other shows you guys are watching?
I mean, I've been catching up on Lucifer now that it's come to Netflix, and I fell way behind on it.
How do you like it?
I love it. It's actually one of my favorite live
I
action shows.
finished it.
Wes finished it. I said, I'm not really one for detective procedurals usually. They usually get really boring really fast. But I like how every season they kind of freshen it up with different characters and they actually keep it unique where the procedural becomes something in the background.
Also, he's hilarious.
Yeah, also, Tom Ellis is hilarious as Lucifer. But, like, they actually keep it fresh where, like, the procedural is just there as, like, a backdrop for it, but it's never really the plot. And I like that. It's more interesting to me.
Okay.
Well, I recently purchased a subscription to Funimation. Wow. They have a lot of anime that I've been... Some that I've seen and some that I've been told to watch. Yet again, one of my friends suggested watching Dr. Stone, and I can't do it just because of his hairdo.
Mr. Leakman is the best scientist next to Okabe. Okay?
You can always
I don't
trust a
even know who
vegetable
that is.
to know his science.
The mad scientist. It's so cool. That's that guy.
Okay.
And Mr. Leakman is pretty good too.
Okay, have you guys ever heard of an animated movie called Origins Spirit of the Past?
Heard of it? No, absolutely nothing about it.
Same.
It's on Funimation. It is really good. The premise is they made super smart evil plants that broke the moon in half, and now they took over the majority of the world.
Why does that sound like the most anime thing I've ever heard in my life?
Because it sounds like it's an anime.
It
Plants
is an
broke
anime.
the moon. Have you guys seen the animated movie Your Name?
No.
The laugh tells me Ian has.
that one.
That is a heartbreaker.
Ooh.
I love that movie.
Ooh, okay, wait a minute, because there was two that came out.
The one with the meteor.
Okay, that one.
Yes,
all right.
that one.
What was
Which
the?
might be a spoiler, but it's been out for a while.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That was kind of like still like it was like kind of wholesomely sad, right?
It was. It wasn't depressing. It was more of like, oh, that happened.
But like, but that's like through the entire show,
Exactly.
movie. But like,
Long show.
yeah. But like through the show, you kind of be like, oh no, don't do
No,
that.
no.
Like, and they're like, no, but they're like, yes, and you're like, no.
That movie is an emotional roller coaster, is what it is.
What was the one with the deaf girl?
I know the one you're talking about, but I don't know the name.
Where
of
she
it.
tried to kill herself and he stopped her from doing it?
That sounds very familiar, but I don't know if it's right.
It came out around around the same time.
Yeah, it was about the same
It
release.
showed up on Netflix.
A Silent Voice.
Silent
Yes.
Voice, yes.
Dude, when she almost jumped off that thing, I'm like, oh no.
That
And then he almost died. I was like,
Oh no.
that was rough. That like
Oh.
Your Name was like kind of wholesomely sad.
Yeah, it was
That your Silent Voice was just
Like, here's how I would describe it.
Yeah, he almost offed himself within the first.
Here's
5
how I would
minutes of the
describe it:
movie.
is that your name is like if a Ghibli movie, which I'm horribly pronouncing that. You know what I'm talking about.
Studio Ghibli.
Ghibli.
It would be like if a Ghibli movie got real.
Yeah.
And then the other one is like if someone just walked up and decided, you know what you need today? A gut punch. That is the difference between those movies.
You want to know something interesting? There's an anime called Angel Beats.
Oh,
I cried at the end of that. And strangely enough, it's not even really the same genre. I cried at the end of Code Geass too.
Code Geass is pretty good.
Code Geass is like the first part. I think they came out with the second. I haven't watched the second, but the first one is definitely like a
it's
kind of
Code
stable.
Geass,
R2 or something.
Echo.
Yeah.
But anyways, no,
Whatever.
the first one, very crisp, and a lot of people recommend it.
Mhm.
And I remember one of my friends first started watching it because the parody series from what's his name, Purple's Eyes for the Win. It was Code Mint with the soup store.
Yes, Code Mint.
Oh
God.
Oh, is that the I'm at soup?
What do you mean you're at soup?
Yes, that one.
That one. It's
I'm shopping for clothes, but all they have are soup. What do you mean? It's just soup. Go to a different aisle.
It's just more soup.
Where are you right now? I'm at the soup store. Why are you trying to buy clothes at the soup store?
Fuck you!
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that series, my friend actually got into the actual series from that abridged.
Similar to that, I have watched Hellsing abridged and refused to watch Hellsing itself because I could not get past Alucard's abridged voice, and that is his voice to me now.
That is absolutely perfect because, well, I mean, in the actual series, he kind of acts like that.
Yeah, they just ramp it up for the abridged.
They just really ramped it up.
I mean, I watched the original Hell scenes before I watched the abridged, so I kind of had the best of both worlds. There's definitely a lot of like dark humor to the actual show.
That's Hellsing, yeah.
Yeah.
And then just the abridged just makes everything a little bit more lighthearted. Like, we're like skimming over the fact that these are Nazi vampires and they're like eating part of a city. And then they're like, hey, but it is not a storage war.
Oh no, Hans was having such a good time. We even got to burn down the bridge.
Sing the song, everything. Whoever writes the abridged needs an Oscar.
That was Team 4-Star, right?
Yep, like they did an amazing job with the jokes.
That series actually ended now.
Yeah, it is because they got to the end of the show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can't really make it abridged if you have no more footage.
Oh my god, that took like what? Oh,
Well, they only released one a year.
Yeah, it was
Most
on
of that.
Halloween.
one a year, each Halloween-ish.
Yeah,
Keyword.
ish. Big ish.
So, but, I mean...
Yeah, because originally it was Tatiana, and then it became Team 4-Star, like, the last 4 episodes, at least.
Really?
Yeah, it was Takahata. He started it, and because on his YouTube channel is where you find most
I
of the
have the
first one.
access powers of the Holy Right.
Wesley's just over here just quoting abridged now.
It's crisp.
Boondock
Saints.
Saints.
I wrote that a week ago.
That was a 70-inch plasma screen TV.
With Netflix. So
how can I help you?
today?
Okay.
All right, we need to stop because we're just going to sit here and quote Hellsing for the next hour.
I love that series. They did a really great job.
Oh, yeah.
Man, this coffee tastes like shit.
But you get on to a different series that actually improved upon the source material.
Oh, God.
SAO abridged by something
God.
witty, I think.
I've never seen it.
SAO wasn't horrible. They
Like-
just sort of stopped.
Like, see, the first half of SAO, like, a lot of people say the first couple episodes were great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say the first, like, half before the fairies, like,
Was good.
I say
I like the
it was mediocre.
I like the combat scenes from the fairy one, especially where he fights like the general dude.
I mean,
I thought that was a sweet ass fight.
it's cool, but
The plot in general
Doesn't
was
make
kinda,
any
Yeah, it was
sense.
kind of
yeah, how does she get stuck? The only one to get stuck still in a game. And they just use Asuna as like a plot point.
But see, the bad thing about how they treated Asuna, which I am very sad by,
she was badass
because they treated her as like an actual character first.
Yeah,
and like she had actual a lot of power, but then they literally put her in a birdcage.
yeah, literally. They're just like, you are now here forever.
And then she just tailored off into this, oh, Kirito, see me, Tasukete, onegaishimasu.
They're like, it feels like they're like, okay, well, we have the main character and these other ones. Like, as the show continued on, they're like, we have the main character and they're here.
Okay.
Like, they just stopped focusing on fleshing out the other characters. It was like, well, they're here for the main character to do fun stuff with.
What is it with Japanese anime and this brother-sister complex?
Okay, there's a little bit of discussion about that.
Like,
so,
she's his sister, right? Or are they cousins?
Stepsister.
I never watched this far, so
no. I think they're cousins. Okay, I don't really care too much, but
I don't want to go into detail, but
listen, I didn't
she
watch this
literally wants to jump his bones.
Yes.
So I stopped.
He's an epic fighter. I want to have sex with him. Okay.
Can we just put out one other thing though? If they've been stuck in this game for what is it? The first time it's like what, a year or so.
A while.
It was enough for him to be Kirito for actually to have like
atrophy. Yeah.
Atrophy.
So why then can this guy who's atrophied to all hell beat a grown ass man in a like knife fight?
Well, that was because he got out and actually got his strength back.
Okay, wait. I gotta think
Well,
where
like
that
still
was.
though, he was basically
Get him out!
He was basically in a, like when he goes to the hospital and the old man tries to stab him.
He saved Asuna.
But like, the thing is, he's been in a dream state essentially. He would not have those skills as muscle memory.
But they play it like that.
Yeah, but it
which
makes
is
no
really
sense.
okay. So anyway, I agree with you. First off, let's make that clear.
Okay. No,
But-
I have a more important question, and I don't mean to interrupt you. In Sao, the Gun Gale online thing, is he a girl in that, or does he just have long hair?
I think his character's a girl.
No, his character is technically male, and they say it's a rare skin or some stupid bullshit, so they can sell sell as Kirito as the female version.
Fair enough. But
Like-
you were saying it.
So like,
So that confused me.
no, they do that a lot. Like if Fire Emblem does it too.
Yeah.
They market it like that, so you can have male corn and female corn.
Why sell one action figure when you can sell two?
Exactly. I mean, Fire Emblem is a little bit
Aren't
less.
they also their main characters? So you could play it either.
I mean, that in Fire Emblem it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
At least you have the option.
If you want to play the girl version, you can play
Like
the
the
girl
girl
version. Or if you want to play the guy version, you can play the guy
Yeah,
version.
well, I mean, Fire Emblem, it's a little bit, it's actually a lot more, sensical. While, Kirito is just like, I'm a girl now, I can now sell, body pillows on me now. And
It took you a second to get that one out.
I was trying to think of the Japanese word, but I know it starts with die, but I can't remember the rest.
You're the only one here that even knows the majority of that.
But what were you talking about? That I got off a
The
track.
fact that he, despite being atrophied and having, he
yes,
can still
okay.
somehow be a grown ass man.
So what? Okay, so
Apparently.
so the
Barely,
atrophy
yeah.
part. Apparently, there's like a time skip, right, between the atrophy and the fairies.
Yeah,
That
they suggest there's a time skip.
They suggest, even though
You don't see it.
Yeah,
don't
in the
see
time frame that Asuna didn't wake up.
yes, and Asuna's still stuck in a fucking bird cage, like.
Because plot.
And while she's in a coma, her father married her off to somebody else.
Yes, cause money.
And plot.
But anyways, it's so there's a time skip. So I guess they try to explain it like that, and then apparently Kirito was able to retain all the muscle memory. I mean, okay, sure, like
I can believe that he still remembers how to do it, but not that he knows how to perform it.
like. Yeah, no, just like getting used to that motion and like literally us just seeing him do it almost perfectly. Like,
Yeah.
okay, come
Yeah,
on.
because they
Come on.
What
him and
the
his
hell is
cousin
happening?
sword fight with kendo sticks.
Yeah, like the first, like one of the very first episodes. I think it was the first.
Yeah. But it just seemed to come out of nowhere because since the time skip is very vague, it just feels like I woke up after being atrophied for 1 year. Now let me win a fight.
Yeah, like even like it just doesn't make like he has to build up. First off, you have to build up those muscles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. You know what? We're gonna stop with that because we get that stupid. You know what else is stupid? So I'm keeping up with it because I hate myself. So
Well, there's nothing wrong with it.
it's okay. Well,
There are better animes out there.
there's a much better, but there's also
Overlord.
Well, yes, Overlord's very
Absolutely.
good. We can talk about that, but it's just like so. The fairy arc garbage, Gun Gale garbage. The last part of the Gun Gale season, there was like a Rosalie kind of thing. I forget exactly what the arc's name, but it's basically about Asuna hanging out with like these cancer patients that are about to die.
What
Yeah.
the hell?
Yeah.
And that's her, and that's their last, and she spends their last moments together, having fun with them. That's fucked. That was actually pretty
And
good.
Asuna's mom joins the game and is able to beat Kirito.
Can I just say,
No, that did not happen. Asuna's mom joined the game to try to understand why these darn kids are playing these VR games. But what were we gonna say?
Doesn't she fight Kirito? No?
She fights no one. She literally just joins the game, goes inside their VR house that Asuna and Kirito own, and it says, "Mom, look,
house.
this is great, isn't it? Look how pretty this is. Now stop bitching at me and let me play my games." What were you gonna say, David?
I don't even remember.
Millennial problems.
Yeah, you just went off on like that, and I'm lost what I was gonna say.
It's just so okay. So yeah. So Fairy Tail garbage. Gun Gale Online garbage. That Rosalie part was pretty okay. Not gonna lie, it was pretty alright.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
It was pretty mediocre, but still pretty good. What was after that? Oh right, now we get into the self-defense force.
How many arcs have they had?
Well,
yeah, isn't that Alexation?
I can't pronounce it right now. Alexandria. It starts with an A.
Let's just say Alex.
But it's we see now new Kirito's waifu, and you know what? I'm not even gonna get to that. But we have now Alice and Yu-Gi-Oh, and it's back to where Sao was mediocre.
I was about to ask what you meant by that.
It's just it's not the best. There's some neat parts about it. Some really trashy parts about it. Some parts I like. Some parts I hate. But I mean, it's pretty alright. It's not terrible. If you like Sao, you'll probably like this arc.
If you like it, you can enjoy it.
Yeah, you can enjoy it. Yeah, there's still some stupid things like
Are they all stuck in the game again?
now they are in a apparently the Japanese self-defense force is developing an AI that can think for itself because that's not a fucking bad idea.
I see no way this could end badly.
Wouldn't be the first time that's ever been a plot
So
point.
what you're saying is SAO is canonically part of the Terminator franchise.
But see, this is the logic. They just,
Cyberdyne System Model 1000.
I forget the exact, but it's something along these lines that they want the AI to be able to think for themselves so that they don't kill humans.
What?
Yeah.
They will immediately go, we need to kill these fools because they're dangerous.
I'm gonna bring this up. That sounds a lot like Westworld. Like, plot point for plot point, that sounds like Westworld.
It's something along those lines. Like, I forget exactly, but it's like I remember him explaining it was so long ago, but it's just like, yeah, okay, I got you, fam. All right, so now here's another little bullshit. So, they're in this type of now AR kind of realm of experience, VR, whatever. Anyways, they're connecting through like a very intensive system, right? And it's into very real time stuff and very high fidelity, yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, that's cool. Why is the CIA here? Because the CIA apparently hires a hitman squad. No, what was the CIA? No, it was the NSA. It was the NSA that hired a hitman squad to go over to the SDF to say, go get me this AI.
It sounds so much like they just put a bunch of random out there plot points on a dartboard and just started hurling darts. This is what happened.
Like, I said CIA because that would make actually some sense instead of the fucking NSA. Because they don't do that.
My God. Yeah, I watched the first season of this and it just sounds like they have gone off.
You know, Sword Art Online. You know, it's Sword Art Online plus Kirito's Adventures
Plus everything else.
plus UPS driver.
Plus UPS driver.
So it's absolutely okay. So besides the ridiculous thing of that, I'm like, okay, you know what? Whatever. It's terrible. So all right. Out of that topic, let's talk about something that's stupid. Because
like Overlord.
No,
Don't go there.
It's stupid fun and you know it.
the last thing with the SAO is, okay, so they have the high fidelity games, right? And they have all that stuff, right? So the big bad guy has to stop the people from, you know, attacking, right?
Yeah.
Our main protagonist, okay? So what he does is that he decides to connect users from America over satellite feeds to stop our protagonists on what looks like a closed base system.
What?
Basically, there's a common theme with a lot of animes where they make the Americans seem like the bad guys.
Well, besides that, and besides me commenting USA in the comments for them to win, USA, but I'm like, the time frame seems to be around our time frame. There's not like, you know, very high techy buildings or stuff. I mean, the tech is kind of high.
It's not like in the future, way out there.
But like, you don't see like any of this
hover cars and shit.
Yeah, you don't see like any of the tech being implemented now. Like it does. You don't see like a bunch of satellites flying in a grid formation around our planet, which Elon wants to do, and that would be the only way to at least get a survivable, you know, playable pin from America to Japan. Like, because there's no other way, because they would have to bounce that signal so much, and Elon's apparently developed a way to at least get like around a 30 millisecond predicted. I'm probably it's going to be around 60 actually or something, but
it's still not horrible.
But that's still in the fucking green.
So what you're saying, Ian, is we need the satellite net.
We need a satellite net, of course.
We need Skynet.
But SAO doesn't probably have it. I'm going to go with that doesn't have it.
If they haven't shown it, let's assume they don't have it.
So how the hell are they playing with no latency from America to Japan? Because I play Girls in Panzer Dream Tank Match, and it just is absolutely ridiculous. Where sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm shooting at this guy, and I shoot, and my tank shot goes right through. I'm like, okay.
Well, it's like,
well, let's try again.
I play Battlefield 5, which has servers every freaking where. And
Yeah.
I was once playing, and it pops up in the corner when you have, like, how much ping you have.
Mm-hmm.
I had, like, over 1,000 ping at one point, and I'm just sitting there going, I am not in the same reality as everyone else in this game. Because suddenly I was standing in a building, and then suddenly, like, my screen went black, and now I'm standing in a field, and the building is gone, and I'm like, I'm not really sure what happened or how I'm alive.
But yeah, no, just to get that, and especially like, okay, you know, third person tank game, like, you know, not the highest graphics, fine. A fully VR simulated system with multiple high fidelity graphics. What the shit?
What are they using? Are they using goddamn C fiber optics?
They literally just, in order to okay. That was my
That was your rant.
That was my rant on SAO. I just,
Oh god.
I mean, to be honest, do I still like the show? Yes. I'm gonna be honest. I still like it. Is it trash? Yes. But I still like it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go watch it anytime soon.
Yeah, same.
I'll keep you up to date. It's pretty fun.
Listen, I stopped watching after season 1 because I'm like, okay, well, I've seen the plot that I wanted. They got out of the game. The show is done for me.
Yeah, pretty much. That's where it ended.
Like, to me, it should have ended there because, like, the plot's over. The whole point was you were stuck in the game and now you're not.
Yeah.
That's good. But yeah, I can talk about anime every day. Don't get me on Ruby, though. Don't get me on Ruby.
Yeah. I think the coolest thing about Ruby was when they were doing their like character intro things.
The trailers were really cool.
Okay. Well, we're on Ruby.
You started this.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. I said, don't get me on Ruby, and then you got me on Ruby. All right. Here we go. The trailers were great. The trailers are
Trailers were
absolutely
fantastic,
fantastic.
especially synced to the music as they were pretty good. They were really good.
They were absolutely fantastic. Especially for the software that he had at his time for like developing that, and then
He pushed it to its limits.
he did pretty good with that. Like, if I ever want to like feel like really like good about like get like motivated or something, I will either
I will
watch
watch Red by Roses.
Red by Roses, his trailers, or Haloid.
Oh yes, Halo is so good.
Haloid was his staple. Like
it really was.
that was Monty Ohm's staple, by the way. That's
Well, I've talked about this with you guys before, but what I currently watch to get hype as shit is the new League of Legends trailer for the 2020 season.
I have seen it. I have seen the picture of it. I have not watched it.
Let me put it this way. Let me just paint you a picture.
Okay, please do.
It is 3 separate scenes of 2 characters each on the good side, just fighting for their lives. Set to the soundtrack of Warriors by Imagine Dragons, if it like an operatic version of it. And I'm not kidding you. By the time it was over, I was tearing up a little because it was just that epic of a scene to watch. It was like in the 3 minutes they had, they told a better, more cohesive, and emotional story than some AAA blockbusters. Let me just put it that way.
That's very nice. I'll have to give it a shot because I know I did like their animations so far, and they've been pulling out some interesting things for just being Riot Games. They should just do maybe
They should just make a movie,
maybe or at least some type of short.
right? Like at this point, they might as well because they obviously have the team for it. Because like if these animations are anything to go off of, they know how to make a good cinematic.
Yes, they do. That's definitely for sure. So
I think that they should make at least a half an hour movie about it. That'd make me happy.
yeah, just some type of little thing. I mean,
Well, you technically do their own show.
Yeah, that actually might be more conducive.
I would assume that they own League of Legends, right?
Oh, yeah, I think they make the League of Legends. Ian.
I haven't been in the gaming scene really. Can you update this old geezer?
I definitely know that a majority of the people out there wouldn't mind like if World of Warcraft had their own like show,
Like a series.
animated show.
Because okay, this is an unpopular opinion, but I'll say it anyway. I like the Warcraft movie.
I did too.
Like I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
It was well animated. The plot wasn't bad. It was a bit campy at times, but look at the source material you're working with. You have orcs the size of trucks, so like, give and take.
Oh yeah, no, but I seen some of the DLC shorts for Warhammer.
Warhammer.
I said Warhammer. Oh
So
my god,
that's a different install entirely.
That's
Especially
Warcraft.
Especially once you add a 4K behind there, then it gets real.
Okay, Warcraft, not Warhammer. I said Warhammer. Okay, I know what that is. I'm not that old.
Yeah,
Ian,
don't get me started on Warhammer.
for the Chaos Gods.
You're a bitch.
But no,
You're either the Ultramarines or you're nothing.
Yeah, no one likes the Ultra Smurfs. But
Only the best chapter in all of Warhammer 40K.
But yeah, the cinematics they have like for all of the
They're actually kind
Warcraft.
of Angels.
correct.
Warcraft shorts are really good. Like the Mist of Pandaria one was really cool to watch because it was just very cinematic, and the Lich King one, which I
Yeah,
can't remember the name of, but that is called the Lich King one.
yeah, it's the Lich King one. The Deathwing one was interesting.
I think I've actually seen that one.
It's the giant fire dragon.
Oh,
thing.
then yes, I have seen that one. I just didn't know the name.
What else was there?
What else you got?
There's
Whoa, what else you got?
There's that League of Legends video I watched. It was the Awaken one.
Yes,
That was really good. My
one is
favorite
good.
part about that was the dude with the piano.
Yes.
Like he's creepy as fuck, but he was cool.
Well, it's also speaking. Have you guys seen? It's also for League of Legends. It's like the Odyssey expansion or something like that.
Nope. I don't play League of Legends. I
Neither
played
do
a,
but I
I
like the
played a
cinematics.
long time ago, but I just never really got into it.
That's it. I've never played it because those aren't my style of game. But I love the cinematics as an animator because they will make you feel like you can do anything.
They are very spectacular.
They are.
It's really sad when people put more effort into their game trailers than most people put into their actual games.
I mean, you remember the Diablo cinematics.
Okay, the new one for freaking Lilith is terrifying.
Yes. Like, I always loved it about Diablo. Like, you're playing the game, and it's an isometric, top-down game that has, like, alright graphics. And then you get to a cutscene, and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah,
This is where their budget went.
Not only are we, like, playing in a game where, you know, hey, yeah, we're talking about some pretty dark stuff. We're talking about the end of humanity and demons and shit. And then you go straight
Let's
up
give you a movie.
like, yo, we're going to rip your guts out, and then we're going to make, like, a ceremony out of your corpse.
Like,
Radical.
Yeah.
Radical. But I will also say, probably one of the best cutscenes out of Diablo, like the actual game itself, Diablo 3, was Imperius versus Diablo, even though Imperius is a bit of a bitch. I'll say it. He gets his ass stomped.
The resurrected Diablo one?
Yeah, Diablo Prime, I think, is Prime Evil Diablo.
Yeah, Prime Evil.
But, like, I love the fact that entire game, Imperius talks shit to you the entire time you know him.
Imperius is a dumbass little girl.
And then he gets absolutely wrecked by Diablo. And then not even like 20 minutes later in game, you destroy Diablo for like good. It's like, oh yeah, you want to keep talking shit, Imperius? Who just saved your ass?
Eventually, the angels shall overcome the demon hordes in the eternal conflict because we are superior. Bitch, you've been fighting the same war for literally ever.
And you've gone nowhere.
You've literally gained no ground.
My character has been alive for like 2 weeks, and I've already like killed the big bad. Get on my level, Imperius.
Yeah, now they have freaking Lilith coming back, which is one of the co-founders of Sanctuary, which is nice.
Well, I mean, you've already killed Death, so... Because the last one was you killed Death.
Yeah, the DLC.
Yeah, the Reaper DLC. So, you've already killed Death. Why not kill Lilith, too, you know?
Well,
apparently your character's on a rampage.
It's weird because Lilith and another angel, I forgot his fucking name, they actually are the mother and father of humanity. Yeah,
like they made the Nephilim, which made humanity, I guess. The lore for Diablo is a little iffy on me.
Adam and Eve?
All I know from Diablo is Deckard Cain, Imperius, and Diablo.
And,
because Deckard Cain!
And Tyrael.
Oh, yeah, and Tyrael. I love how the angels are designed in Diablo. They have
no
are
face. Sick.
They have no
they
face, and I love
looking.
it. They're just wings, armor,
and then when you kill them, they just turn into light and fade away.
Yeah, they just dissipate like a Febreze poofer. I don't know what these are called. I'm just going to call them poofer.
The poofer.
It's
the automatic little air freshener things.
Now, if I remember right, after Imperius' death, Tyrael takes up the mantle.
I don't think he died. I think he just got the shit kicked out of him.
No, he got stabbed. Remember, Diablo stabbed his...
Yeah, but he keeps talking to you after that point.
Oh, well, I don't know. All I know is after Imperius is not there, Tyrael picks up the mantle of wisdom, which he is so totally not prepared to be the angel of.
Did he just get back to being an angel?
Yeah, well, he was originally the angel of justice.
I know, but when you meet him at the beginning of that game, he's just a person.
Yeah,
because he gave up his angelic power.
He didn't give it up. Imperius kind of smited him out of heaven.
Okay, he lost his sword. And then you help him get it back, and he's like, cool, I'm still going to be here.
Yeah.
Because I like Earth now, apparently. Is it even Earth? I don't think it's Earth. I think it has a different name.
It's called Sanctuary.
Where the people live?
Yeah, where humans live, it's called Sanctuary.
How's heaven called then?
Heaven.
Wow, they couldn't... Okay, so they have a special name for Earth, but they couldn't come up with a better name for heaven?
Sanctuary was called Sanctuary because Lilith and her angel boyfriend that gave birth to mankind built it so the eternal conflict could not get involved.
But I love the fact that they're like, okay, what do we call the place where humans live? Sanctuary. What do we call the place angels live? Heaven. We couldn't even call it like Hevia.
Hevia.
Like change it a little bit for copyright, you know.
We'll call it Valhalla.
Yeah, like, hey, can I borrow your homework? Yeah, just change it a little bit so it doesn't look like you copied it. That's basically what happened.
Just add different consonants.
Hevia.
One of these things is not like the other.
It's just like, wait a minute, I mean heaven? No, Hevia. No. Okay, there was this one show oh, what was it? I forgot. But they called humanity emanity, and it absolutely pissed me off.
What show was that?
I forget off the top of my head, but
Humanity.
like emanity is like no, like
No, stop it.
stop that.
That's illegal.
All right, I'm gonna say it right now. Every time they say guzzling instead of gasoline in Mad Max, it annoyed the fucking shit out of me.
Same. I don't know why that annoys me, but it does.
Because you gotta guzzle them up.
You gotta guzzle the guzzling. I'm never saying that again. That just sounded
What a
bad.
wonderful day!
What a wonderful day! Witness me!
What a wonderful day to be alive.
Can I also say I really liked the Mad Max movie, the new one, Fury Road,
Yeah, it was good.
because it was just 2 something hours of a guy screaming and driving through the desert, and I enjoyed it.
Well, the main character didn't scream. He
No,
just kinda
no,
grunted.
because everyone has to think about covering up Tom Hardy's face for some reason in every movie he's in except for Venom. They're like, look, we have this awesome actor. Let's cover his face.
I just thought of something that someone helped me remember. But humanity sounds like a lot like enema.
Wow.
Oh god, that's
The human
horrible.
race is literally taking it in the ass.
Oh, that's horrible. Why'd you put that in my brain?
Because it just had to think about it to just kind of
Oh Jesus!
because
Ian.
it just kind of correlates a little bit, because
Oh.
I think I saw something on
What are
Urban
you saying? What are
Dictionary
you saying
about
that
that.
humans are assholes?
Oh my god. Maybe that's what they were going for when they,
Maybe
when they dropped the H off the
You're
word.
just like humanity, enema. Yeah.
It checks. It checks
checks,
out.
yeah.
It's an older code, but it checks out. Oh god. So, speaking of video games,
Oh shit.
what games are you guys looking forward to in the 2020 year of the Earth?
Of the earth.
Of the earth. Well, I'm an old geezer and only play Left 4 Dead 2.
You don't count.
Your ass.
They haven't really announced anything that I'm really like hyped for.
I mean, I'm not really hyped. Oh, I'm hyped for Doom Eternal when that eventually comes out.
Well, I mean, shouldn't we all be hyped for that one Keanu Reeves game?
Oh, Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk.
I never really got into the whole thing.
I'll check it out, but I'm not really excited for it, if that makes sense.
I know.
They've been talking about it for too long without it actually being a thing.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing. They've been talking about it, but I haven't really seen much about it for like a while.
I kind of jumped in at the deep end when I first started playing this series. The first game of Resident Evil I played was Resident Evil 4, which is...
That's not a bad start.
It's not a bad start, but it is kind of jumping in at the deep end because Resident Evil 4 was terrifying.
It's also a lot different than the Resident Evil that came before it.
And I never played... I played the originals a long time ago, but I was half tempted to get the remake for Resident Evil 2. But I was like, it's fine. I watched Jacksepticeye basically play the whole campaign.
That is like the state we live in at this point. It's like, well, I don't really want to play the game myself.
Well, it's the same thing with like the new God of War game. I wanted to play that, but I'm not going to buy a PlayStation 3 to play it.
Fair. Yeah, me too. I watched Jacksepticeye play it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't want to go buy another console, so I'm just going to watch him play because at least he's entertaining while he plays it.
And it's the same thing with Star Wars The Fallen Order. I didn't play that. I just watched people play
I
it.
still want to play it, even though I've seen the entire game because it still looks kind of fun gameplay
Fucking
wise.
Darth Vader is terrifying, just
Darth Vader's
as
always
usual.
terrifying.
But I'm looking forward to the new Resident Evil 3 remake with Nemesis
Yeah.
because it just looks tired. Tired.
It looks
terrifying.
Nemesis looks tired. He needs a break, guys.
Stop.
Terrifying. Sorry.
Nemesis needs to have a coffee break.
So there's this meme I saw for Doom Eternal because I guess there was a leaked, or not a leaked, like a teaser. Where it's him just walking past a bunch of normal people,
mm-hmm.
and in the background there's like the BFG 2000 shoots off into a direction, and I love the little meme that came up with a Doom guy getting like the sexy sweats.
Oh baby! I said I can't wait for Doom Eternal because A, you have a grappling hook now, which just seems fun, and it's more Doom.
Oh
And
yeah,
you can
they're
never go
doing a
wrong with
Final
Doom.
Fantasy remake. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, they are.
Final
Fantasy
Fantasy
7.
VII, yes.
So we get to see Sephiroth's big sword again,
I
and this time in HD.
the only Final Fantasy game I played was the one where it was like the soccer game in the water one.
What the hell are you
With-
talking
with-
about?
Are you
With
sure?
Sin, the enemy was called Sin.
Are you sure that wasn't like King?
King.
I can't say the name.
Not Kingdom Hearts.
No, that's another Final Fantasy game that I refuse to say that is not a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, that's true. It's the one where it starts off.
beach volleyball.
What?
Kingura Sig. I can't.
You're gonna keep trying, aren't you?
I'm gonna keep trying.
No, it's. And then there was the one Final Fantasy game where you play as Vincent Valentine basically the entire time, which I love that one because Vincent Valentine's like the coolest character. I'm a vampire with a gun that has 3 barrels. Let's do this.
Let's roll. All it makes me think of is just the biceps that are Chris Redfield. Seriously, in the game where you get to play as him, he's massive. He's a mountain. He's a unit.
Who?
Chris Redfield from Resident Evil.
Oh,
You know where you uppercut a boulder?
yeah.
Which, by the way, I love that part. That's that part of that game because you don't start by uppercutting the boulder. You gotta weaken it first. The first part of that is you gut punching a boulder to soften it up before you uppercut. God, I love old games and logic.
I would have to say, speaking of Resident Evil, one of my favorite things that's come out for Resident Evil was the freaking the animated movie that came out where Leon's just John Wicking freaking zombies.
Oh, you mean the one with the hallway scene?
Yeah,
where it's
just
like
beat,
to a beat. Only he can hear, wiping out zombie kind.
And then you look at Leon's fighting styles. Yeah, I'll get in close and one tap,
pew,
one
pew.
tap. And then you look at Chris Redfield. I got a bayonet on the end of my AR. Stabby.
Well, to be fair, have you seen Chris Redfield?
Yeah, he just full out suplexes pretty much everybody.
Like, he doesn't need a weapon. He is a weapon.
Yeah, that's true.
Can I also say that, Resident Evil 7, which was a complete departure from how the normal
And it
Resident
pissed
Evil was
everybody
made.
off.
It was a good game. Can we just admit, though, that that game would have been totally different if any of the protagonists from the previous games had been in his position?
Who's?
The horror one.
Let's
Ian, you look
see.
confused.
I'm trying to remember which one that was.
Biohazard.
Oh,
Biohazard.
okay.
Yeah,
Never mind.
was
I
it
was
the
thinking
one where you're in
Resident
the
Evil
hillbilly
6.
house?
Hillbilly House with the Granny Spaghetti.
Yes.
Granny Spaghetti.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that was
Like,
terrifying.
That was
Like, can we just
terrifying.
say,
That
game,
was the definite, like the mom. The
Like, can
mom
we just say-
turned into like
Granny
egg sack
Spaghetti.
mom.
Granny Spaghetti.
Ugh.
Can we just say another game would be a completely different game if you started the game as either Leon or Chris? Like, there would be no horror to that game. Leon would just be like, well, shit, another day, another dollar.
I'm looking forward to the next Kerbal games. Kerbal Space Program.
Yes, they're coming out with a second one
I want
finally.
to play that.
They're coming out with a second one.
Yes, they are.
Why?
Because the first one was good enough to warrant
From what
it.
I heard, they're basically like, they got to where they could with the first one, and now they're going into the second one, knowing what they've learned from the first one and improving upon it. Like, they basically have improved the first one as much as they can with what they have, and now they're just doing it again, but better.
Okay, because I always...
Sorry to those that are listening. I'm getting over having
Yeah, he a little
a
sicky
cold.
sick.
So it's lovely to podcast when you have a fucking cold.
I thought Kerbal Space Program would be like space engineers.
Or it just keeps going.
Or it just
I like
keeps going.
Space Engineers.
I love Space Engineers.
I was really upset with how unepic it was though.
Unepic.
Yeah, when I first bought Space Engineers, I was like, I'm gonna build a space station and build because me and my friends, we have David can account for this. We ever since we were like in 8th grade, we've had like this game that we played that we made up where you rule your own country and it's in space. Well, my country's called Shade, so I was gonna build all the ships from my empire in that.
In the shade.
Yes. Yes, in the shade. But
That was probably loud, but I had to.
But it proved to be more of a annoying task than anything because I wasn't rolling with the best computer and the best internet, so everything was kind of choppy. But
I like Space Engineers, but it gives me a weird feeling playing that game because playing by myself. I feel very lonely playing that game because there's nothing else there. There's like an AI every so often, but like I'll be on a planet building a ship and I'll just look around and go, oh, because I'm just alone.
Welcome to space.
Like, I have once built a giant ship in that game, made it off planet, started adventuring and all that stuff, and I'm just sitting there in the cockpit like, there's no one here.
So I'm reading this article right now because I'm flipping through it. I guess they're making a Breath of the Wild 2.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
That's like the first time there's ever been a 2 to a Zelda game.
I think so, yeah. I think that's the first time they haven't just gave it another name.
I can't think of anything either.
I can't think of another Zelda game with like, it's this one, but the second.
So I
mean, why wouldn't they make a Breath of the Wild 2 and how successful the first one was?
I never played Breath of the Wild as it was.
It was very...
It sold Switches.
It sold the console. Kind of like how Master Chief sold the Xbox.
Rest in peace, you green boy.
Well, that's another game that's coming out.
Yes, it's Halo Infinity.
Yes.
Or Infinite. Is it Infinity
or
Infinite?
One's a plural, one's not.
There could be many Infinite or one Infinite. We don't know yet.
All I know is for a fact is, yeah, it looks beautiful.
Yeah, the graphics
Yeah,
look fantastic.
I looked at the article. It's Halo Infinite.
There's only one Infinite, guys. There's only one Infinity.
What?
Yeah. Whoa.
How is that infinite?
Now we're getting into Avengers territory.
Whoa.
And then there's the new life, The Last of Us, which is
I never played the first one because I don't have a PlayStation.
See, that's the thing that annoys me a lot is these console-only genre games. Why does companies do that? Why wouldn't you try to make as most money for...
Well, they probably have a deal with the publisher of the console.
I understand that, but you would think you would make more money by selling it to multiple platforms?
Depends on the deal they broke with them. They might be giving them more money just to keep it.
I know they were doing that shit with Destiny 2. Like, Destiny 2 for PlayStation for a while was like... PlayStation people got certain content, and Xbox people got what was ever left.
Yep. Well, it's like going over to the PC front. Me and Ian play PC games. Wesley, I know you're not much of a PC gamer.
No.
But the whole Steam versus Epic. I don't like Epic.
Or Origin.
Yeah, because like I like Steam because it works. Not well sometimes, but it works. Yeah, but I tried Epic, and trying to figure out what the hell was going on with the Epic Game Launcher was a nightmare. Not to mention, it pulled down so much on my PC. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you pulling from?
It's kind of like, it's kind of like how like YouTube kind of sterilized like the video streaming software.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but in this case for like Steam, like everyone like Steam. Oh man, when was Steam created?
A while ago.
Like,
longer than I've been playing PC games.
Like, I know Steam has been there for at least as long as I remember.
Let's just say since the beginning.
Yeah, since the beginning of...
Since Gail Newhall created Light.
Yes. He created time.
It was created September 12th, 2003.
It was made in 2003?
I can see
that.
Because,
you know why?
It's 2020, Wesley.
It's not very old.
No, that's... You know why I remember that? Because I remember playing Halo Combat Evolved with X-Fire. that was the connections chatting system before Steam.
Oh
man,
God.
I just had flashbacks to Pop-Tart. That man was a legend on that game.
But like, I like Steam because like it's established, it works. They've worked most of the bugs out,
and it's simple.
It's very
and you can get refunds if shit goes wrong.
Yeah, like,
2 hours or
and you don't like it, give it back.
2 hours or a week.
Yeah,
of owning.
I think so. Yeah.
But see, this is where they get you here. They have the cutscenes last up to 1 hour and 30, and then you have to play the game for 30 minutes.
Sneaky.
And then you're just like, I don't know if I like this. Let me play this a little bit more. And then you're dead.
And that's your game
and now they have your money.
Guess what? You keep it. But yeah, like, I like just being able to go on my computer, open up one app, and play any game in my library.
Simplicity.
It's just simple as that. I don't want to have four different apps on my computer to play games because I'm not going to remember which one's on which. And it's going to be me opening 4 different apps going, where is this game?
No, like I have that same stuff with Origin because I play Command and Conquer 0 Hour.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I
great game, not a great launcher.
Command and Conquer is a good series.
Command and Conquer is a.
I love the Tiberian War ones.
Yeah.
I'm all about that 0 Hour life. I'm all about 0 Hour.
I like the Juggernaut from Tiberian War. I play that game just for that unit.
Made in the US of A.
Yeah.
Juggernaut rolling out.
China grow larger.
Can we just say, I hope RTS games never stop having one-line dialogue for a unit?
But see, that was
That's
the
a
time.
shitty thing. They don't really do Command and Conquer games anymore.
Well, no, because EA killed it.
EA killed it and also
EA killed
that.
a lot.
They tried to bring it back as a shitty mobile
game, which is a stupid idea.
It really is. Like
Now you can just play Planetary Annihilation. Basically
Which is
have the same amount
pretty
of fun.
good. Yeah.
It's pretty fun, but nothing is just because back then, like right now, like if we try to create a game with a faction that has to use peasant workers to build a barracks, and also the same peasant worker to build a fully operational Scud launcher system, and also be enslaved and ask for shoes all the time. I don't think that's gonna fly today.
I don't think so. It was a time. But like at least we have Total War. Total War will serve us well.
Except the last 3 of them have been really, really shitty. Like,
I mean, Warhammer 2
Three
was
Kings
good.
was terrible.
It wasn't bad.
I don't like the heroes.
Like at least you could choose.
The heroes broke the game.
Yeah, at least you could choose to nerf them a little bit, which kind of helped. But
And
I get what you mean. Where it doesn't feel like a Total War game when you have this one unit that can Dynasty Warriors his way across the battlefield.
I didn't really like the Warhammer ones. It was.
The Warhammer ones are fun, especially when you play as lizard men, because you
Okay.
just win.
I would have liked the Warhammers one if you could do normal conquest.
Yeah, not the whole conquer the vortex thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you can kind of do that if you play as one of the DLC races of vampires.
But
their thing is just conquer.
But supposedly they're coming out with a new one, which is Total War Troy.
Yep.
So we'll have to see what that is.
I hope it's like Total War Rome, because Total War Rome was really good.
I, to this day, will be a loyal bitch to Warhammer forever because Total War Empires was my favorite game.
I wish they would make another Total War Empire, because that was a good game. It was a fun, simple, crisp game.
All right, well, how about do you guys remember Civ 5?
Favorite game ever? I played 198 hours in that on Steam, I think is what it tells me. It makes me feel bad every time I look at it, because it's wow, that's a lot of my life.
You said Civilization?
Civ 5.
My only problem with Civilization games is you can't delete the units that you don't want anymore.
You can disband them. I think it costs you money, though.
See, the old ones that I played, you couldn't do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
the old one. Okay, I know in Civ 5 you can.
Yeah, you can disband
So
them.
usually what I did was I took all the groups that I didn't want near an enemy city, and
All
then
your
I
club
nuked it.
men.
And I nuked it.
I do that on purpose. So when I played Civ 5, where I'm I have end game units, but I still have 1,000 club units. So just go over there, just go fight someone, go have fun. You have a day in the park. It's because I have nothing else to do with them.
I just love when my archers can actually damage a tank.
That is the funniest thing in Civ 5, where it's look, my spearman versus a Abrams. It's a dice who's going to win this one.
But my spearmen have rough terrain advantage.
Your move.
Peasant MBT.
No, my favorite faction to play as in that is the Celts, because they have a really good early game unit. That's I think I think this is wrong, but it's very similar. It's the Picket Men or something like that. They basically are shield and swordmen. At the beginning of the game, they're insanely powerful, and then near the end, they're really, really shitty. Yeah. But it's great because at the beginning of the game, you're I could just conquer. This little section is mine now.
Yeah, just do it like how you did, just like how British did it.
Yep, just
early game.
Early game. Get those ships ready, boys. I feel bad for the barbarians as an early game when I'm playing as the Celts because just like you don't stand a chance. just leave.
Oh, raging barbarians are terrible though.
Oh hell yeah! I will say this: do you play the way I play, where you always have Gandhi?
I always have Russia because of double production.
Oh yeah, I always have Gandhi on the field just on the off chance we get nuclear Gandhi.
Oh yes,
Because that is a field day when that happens.
it's like, we must spread peace through nuclear
fire. It's like Gandhi, no, Gandhi, no. We're friends, boy. We're friends. I remember the first time I got nuclear Gandhi. I never met Gandhi yet. Like, I never met India. So I had no, like, they didn't pop up and talk to me. And I went to attack a city and it just disappeared. And I'm like, the fuck just happened? And then, like, 5 squares past that, there was an Indian soldier that was just like, hi, how you doing, friend? And I'm like, did you do that?
Yeah, just like, wow. How are you, doing that? Really? Just, it's
like, it's 1583. How is this happening?
Excuse me, but that was just one, it was just one man.
He's just standing there, smiles, and you're like, you are a monster.
Truly. It's just, my friend, when we play together, he loves the fact that he can buy a tank with faith.
Right? It's like the holy tank arises. Oh, I maxed out in faith just for that reason, because it's like, well, I don't need money.
I just need faith.
People believe in me.
I can just exist a tank into existence.
Like, I can will it by the power of God. Oh, that is such a good game.
What's the new one that no one really liked?
Civ 6.
Civ 6.
Yeah, because it was Civ 5, then Civ Beyond Earth, and then Civ 6.
Yeah. I mean,
that one's weird simply because, like, workers disappear. Like, they retire.
Weird.
It's really weird.
But, it's just kind of... There was a glitch in that game where you could take, You're
talking about the Killer Gandhi.
The Killer Gandhi? It was pretty savage with the Killer Gandhi, but there was a glitch in Civ 6. I don't know if it still works anymore, but I saw it on YouTube that you could take like a faith building and have then when you discover pathogen, I like to call it, but a pathion is what that's actually called.
The pathogen.
It's the virus. But you get your pathogen and Pathion, and
you're gonna keep doing that.
Because I always call it while in the game with my friends. But I'll try to correct myself. But but then you can glitch it where you can keep clicking that skill for that Pathion, and one of the skills is you get more. For every faith you have, you get science.
Oh, my research is eternal.
And then you get to a ridiculous amount of science, and now you're just like, I'm basically faith science.
I am Scientology.
I think one guy was able to do it. Like he got all the way up to like in the early game, 2000, 1000 BC. He had like 2,000, 3,000 science.
Jesus.
I mean, you could just keep clicking it.
Yeah, it's like I now could just get a technology.
Yeah, I mean,
whenever I want.
Every technology was just a turn away.
Yeah, it's like when you become so enlightened, the God's just like, here, have a wagon, have a tank, live.
It's so crisp, but
it's so good.
I miss kind of those old RTS games.
Yeah, they kind of died off in recent years.
Because I always loved in Zero Hour that I could just build toward you.
Just continuously encroach.
Because you could really do that with Laser General really easily. Just like, hey, lasers.
Well, it's like I loved playing Red Alert 3 simply because the Red Army in that game is busted as shit. Could you just be like, you know what? I built an airfield and I win. You just build 1,000 Kirdov airships and you win. Because they heal themselves and they just come.
It was the same thing kind of with dealing with advanced AI with Zero Hour with Super Weapon General. Yep. She's just like, well, I have super auroras, so that have fuel air bombs. So prepare
like,
to die. I'm like, can I build my strategy center, please?
Can I live, please? Well, it's like whenever I play against the GDI and Tiberium War, if you set it to expert mode, you're just gonna continuously get artillery bombed by juggernauts from across the map. Like, I would play and I would get, like, my secondary base out. I'm like, I'm doing good. I'm doing great. Why is everything on fire? And then I would just scan the area and there'd be, like, 20 of them off in the distance. And I'm like, why? Where did you come from?
It's ridiculous. But
I miss those old games simply because the higher level AI were so busted and it was just great.
oh yeah.
Because, like, they were the original spammers.
oh yes. There was a new-ish RTS game that came out that my friend wanted me to play. It was kind of interesting. It was called 0K. It was kind of developed by the community, if I remember correctly. I've only played a little bit of it. But it was kind of neat because, you could, like, terraform everything. And you could basically get, like, these wide variety of units. But the only problem I had with it is when you got, like, the striker units or like the giant death robots, every other unit was kind of mute.
Yeah, because death robots.
So I'm just like, I kind of wish there was a little bit more balancing in that, but I mean, it's still fun because like you could literally take your workers and build like a massive like 5,000 meter tall spire of a piece of dirt, and then put a absolute absurd amount of big Bertha large artillery cannons, and he's like and these maps they're not the biggest, but they're pretty relatively large-ish.
Yeah, they're a good size.
They're a good size, but because the Bertha could just shoot, and it's just like this, like just imagine like taking a small meteor and just chucking it across the field,
just eating it,
but except times that by 20.
It's like I don't like that area. I'm just going to erase it.
There was a because they had like little super weapons too.
Yeah,
which was, and it was like it was a big Bertha cannon, but it was a Ferris wheel.
What?
So like it was like like those little kind of like Gatling guns where you're going like this.
Yeah, I crank it.
Yeah, but it was just like a more in a Ferris wheel kind of situation. It's just like pow 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 pow. And you're just like.
Welcome to my carousel of death.
Yes, and it's kind of funny how because the giant death robots actually moved kind of very slow, at least some of them. So you could actually use your big piece artillery shells and track them, and you just go, just literally colossify the area.
Goodbye, everything.
But it's an interesting game. I didn't really get too much into it, but
yeah,
it's step in the right direction, and I heard a lot of people actually kind of like it, or it's very niche, maybe.
Yeah, well, RTS games have always been a little niche. That's why they've always been up and down.
True.
You have to like them to enjoy them.
Very true. Very true.
It doesn't really draw on the general public much.
Very true. It's kind of like. Well, I was gonna say it's kind of like chess, but I don't know if that's really like that.
It's like chess if you had a carousel of death in chess. That would be a good game piece.
It would be a good game piece.
I take your king, carousel of death.
My friend is really into chess and does a lot of chess matches, so he kind of, he's like, Ian, you want to play chess? I'm like, yes, I would like to lose again.
That sounds like a great old time.
He's like, no, you just gotta try again. It's like, I would love to, but I can't.
I don't want to. No.
But I mean, I used to play chess. Did you play any board games?
I have played chess. I'm not the best at chess, but I can hold my own against someone who's not good. I know. Me and Wesley are in the Warhammer 40k, the miniatures. I mean, that game's difficult to play simply because it takes forever.
That and the whole ruler thing, and
yeah, you have to physically
line of sight.
Yeah, physically measure out how far this unit can move on an actual table.
I saw one of my friends play it. It was a while ago, and you had this little red ruler, and you had like these like kind of like playing fields.
Yep. It's like, can I see him? No. Then you can't shoot him.
I mean, it's still a pretty cool concept. It's
really fun once you get it going, but it's like, if you think D&D takes forever, one combat round in Warhammer can take like an hour.
Wow.
If you have enough units, it's like, okay, well, that one does this. Let me roll for it. That one also does this. Let me roll for it. It's like, okay, I got through a squad. Shit.
Wow. I think that'll be a definite improvement in like kind of gameplay of when that stuff kind of becomes like a virtual reality kind of or augmented reality rather.
Yeah, kind of like we can just play the game normally, but it keeps all track of all the special stuff for you.
Yeah, like a like a visual chessboard or something, and but you have your units there. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, because that would speed it up a lot. It's like, oh, it rolled for me. I know what's going to happen by looking at it.
Yeah, though, I mean, just having actually seeing your units kind of engage in combat and idle animations, that would be. I
cannot wait for that kind of AR because that would just be phenomenal to watch.
Oh yeah, no that.
Also, because I kind of want to play Yu-Gi-Oh like that, like in the TV show, you just throw it down. There's a giant goddamn monster. It's like, oh, that's how big Exodia is.
Oh, very much so. Very fun.
I love how I choose Exodia, even though I don't think he's been tournament legal for like 10 years.
Like, how powerful was he? Because I never really got into Yu-Gi-Oh.
I never really played it. I just collected the cards, but it was basically, as far as I know, I could be totally wrong by this, but it was like, if you got all of Exodia, you just win.
You just win?
Like, if you're able to get him on the field, you win. Fuck the other guy, I guess. I could be totally wrong about that, but that's how I've always heard it described, so if enough people say it, it should be true, right?
Yeah, that's
how it works.
That's how it works.
Oh god,
man! But no, I just really can't wait to start to create like a bunch of like kind of series and start to see like more stuff kind of grow because VR is getting a lot of traction, and also one of the great games that I saw was Boneworks.
Yes, Boneworks is an amazing step up for VR.
That's absolutely like I don't have a VR headset myself, but I mostly just don't have the space for it currently. But
yeah, you need like a living room of nothing else in it.
At least a small kitchenette.
At minimum.
At minimum.
Like, I'm glad that VR is finally made out of the gimmicky stage. We're no longer seeing like gimmicky games come out for the VR. We're seeing proper games come out for it.
Oh yeah, true.
Like hell, they've even made basically an Arma 3 version of VR. It's called something different. I cannot remember what it's called, but it's essentially Arma in VR. Like someone went through and just made Arma in VR. They also made CS:GO in VR, which is Pavlov.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, so we're starting to see people just make games in VR, which I am absolutely looking forward to seeing how far that goes.
Oh, it'll be fantastic. I just the one thing that I kind of like didn't really attach to technology because I know it's in its early stages, so I mean, I guess it's just my own fault, but it's kind of like I want to be able to like move like my legs too.
Which they do have now.
They do have that now.
Yeah, they have leg tracking now.
They do. Okay,
yeah, they have full body tracking.
Okay, then that fixes that problem.
Yep, because I can physically confirm that there's one game that does it. I don't know if other games have implemented it yet, but the game Blade and Sorcery has full body tracking.
That's a VR game now?
That's a VR game.
Wasn't it?
It was always a VR game.
It was always a VR game?
Yeah, and it's really fun, by the way. But yeah, they actually implemented full body tracking, so you can just run and straight up drop kick people in that game now, which I don't even want to try because you're blind. No, in my like I'd go through the TV.
That's why you have to have a full living room area.
That's why you need like a padded stunt room.
Yeah, a gymnastics area.
Right? So that you can just throw yourself against the wall.
Of course, that's...
Because the main problem I had when I had a VR headset playing Blade and Sorcery is the space I had was too small. So when I tried to swing the sword, it would just stop tracking and my sword would just sort of like collapse into my chest halfway through the swing. So I'm like, I got you! Now I'm just hugging myself. It was not great.
It must not be. But that's what I really wanted to see out of VR. So
which they have now, which is nice.
Good.
What I want to see is, I've seen them do this, but it's not commercial yet, is essentially like Ready Player One style, a trackball you're running on. So instead of having to move around with joysticks, you can just do a full fucking sprint in place, and it will just run you through the game.
I like that idea, but I feel like the first prototypes of that will look so stupid.
Oh, you're gonna look like an absolute moron on those things to begin with.
Like, I mean, it'll be cool in the game, but if people watching, like, what's that guy doing?
To be fair, VR right now is like that. Like, in the game, you feel amazing, and then you see, like, a video of them, and you're like, it looks like you're trying to swing at bees.
You know what? You're right. You're right.
Like, no one looks cool in a VR.
I think some, maybe if you try really hard, maybe put little googly eyes in your glasses.
That way you can stare into someone's soul while you're playing the game.
Or while you're playing. Okay, one thing that I remember in Beat Saber, I did find this. I thought it was a modification, just like a controller mod, but it's actually it's a controller mod that's like a different controller, not like an additional add-on to.
It's actually a separate controller.
Like it's a dual lightsaber, at both ends.
That is amazing.
And I see some people use it. It's like, oh, so he's just kind of just wheeling it around like this, and I was thinking it was just one way, but it's just like, no, it's double. I'm like, whoa. And then you just see.
I would not trust myself for that because I know for a fact I would try to do the Darth Maul twirl, accidentally let go of the thing, and hear a crash somewhere in the distance. Because I am that coordinated.
Well, what happens if you got an S rating on?
Then it's worth it.
Then it's worth it.
Like, then you've proven that you don't need it anymore. You've won.
You've won. Is it S? Yeah.
What you do is you definitely win if you did that on Through the Fire and the Flames.
Well, I've heard that.
Oh god, watching people play Beat Saber is just—it's almost therapeutic.
Almost. I feel like you would it's kind of like Osu a little bit. Well, okay, it's not. the idea is the same, but the gameplay functionality isn't. But it kind of like some of the motions. I feel like some of the maps do like a very broad range of motions that make you kind of like move. That's why I kind of want more of the foot tracking, but like. Some of the maps just kind of feel like where you're just kind of just sitting there, kind of lynched over and just waddling your hands.
Yeah, like when you're playing the Wii.
When you're playing the Wii,
where you just sit there and wiggle it really fast.
I mean, it's not
as bad as the Kinect, where no one looked good playing the Kinect.
I never really looked up videos of playing the Kinect.
I had a Kinect.
You had a Kinect.
I owned a Kinect.
How was that?
Oh, it was bad. Like, it functioned sometimes.
But did you just, like, do Just Dance or something?
We had Just Dance and, like, one of those, basically, like, Wii Sport ripoffs that they sent with it. And it was, like, it would do this thing that, like, I don't know why they added this, because it did not help their case at all. After you would finish one of those game modes or whatever, it would show you a video that it was recording of you in real life.
Why would
I don't know
look
why.
How stupid you look.
Yeah, like every time I'm just sitting there going, I don't want to see this because I look like a flailing fish. But yeah, so like the Kinect was no better.
Oh man.
Why do you think people only use it for motion capture now? Because it was not great at the game system.
I saw a Rasputin one on it, and it was actually looked kind of fun, but that's Rasputin, lover of the Russian queen. But no, that was kind of fun, but no, I never really got. I did have a Wii, but I didn't buy it for its Wii functions. I bought it for a One Piece game.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a very niche thing. It was you know what the hardest part about that game was?
Huh.
It wasn't defeating the villains. It wasn't, getting to point A to point B. It was catching butterflies. Was the absolute pain of my existence.
Oh my god.
It was just the absolute vein. It's just like, all right, what do you want to do? Oh, I want to catch a butterfly. Well, that requires S tier level communication with your hand.
You're about to get in there.
Are you the butterfly effect?
Yes, I am the butterfly. Fact. We have been joined by a dog.
Yeah, it's my dog Bentley. He's a German Shepherd Collie mix.
He is fluffy.
He's so fluffy.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
So, Wes.
Yep.
What games have you been playing? We've been over here talking about our chess games and Ian chasing butterflies as Luffy.
Let's see. As of right now, I'm playing the new Call of Duty quite a bit. I just recently been I've been kind of grinding hard in Red Dead Redemption 2 online, just trying to have money in it, I guess.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mainly play games that my friends play, so it's usually whatever online game they're playing.
Yeah, like I know you're on Rainbow Six quite a lot.
Not as much as I used to.
Really?
I used to be... Yeah, I'm like level 150 something in Rainbow Six.
You've sort of peaked in Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, and I've noticed over the years that people are just getting more and more sweaty
Yeah.
about stuff. So
That's why I stopped playing a lot of multiplayer games, because I didn't like dealing with all the salt.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, with first-person shooters, I absolutely suck, so I'm usually the reason for their salt. So, especially my teammates. I mean, me and Wesley have played Battlefield 5 together, and we do not play seriously at all when we play that game. We're just sort of like, how much can we just, like, not do what we're supposed to do and still have a good time? Like, when the new Pacific Theater just came out for Battlefield 5. I don't know if you've heard about it.
I have. This actually added what looks like Battlefield gameplay.
Yeah, and it's really fun, and there's a game mode on the map, Iwo Jima. You remember this, Wes?
Yeah.
Where, as the Japanese, you have to defend. And you don't really get many vehicles or anything like that. The Americans get LTVs and all those other vehicles.
Yes, like the Americans always do.
Yeah. Well, me and Wesley were playing, and we were on the Japanese side, and we ended up capturing an LVT. And for, what was it, like the next 30 minutes in that game mode, we just ran up and down the island, not helping in any way, just keeping them from getting to the shore with their own vehicle.
I think that's pretty much helping if you're limiting them.
Well, it's like, we were helping them in that we were preventing them from landing, but we were not helping in the terms of we were defending anything in particular. And Wesley, like, and every time one of us would die, the other one would just take control of this vehicle and just continue the cycle. And that is how I play first-person shooter games, because I cannot hit the broadside of a barn.
Yeah, he runs around as a medic.
Because I like support. I like helping the people who can hit the broadside of a barn. On the complete reverse of that, Wesley plays Recon, which is the sniper.
Sniper, or I play the support guy, which basically is the LMG guy.
Yeah, the engineer dude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They kind of did an interesting thing. I play a little bit of Battlefield 5, but they gave like the medic class like actually a nice assortment of bolt action rifles.
They have now. When the game first came out, you had like submachine guns.
Really?
Yeah, like you started with the Sten.
Yeah, the Sten. They're the only people in the game that they actually get the Tommy gun though.
Eventually,
which is really, really overpowered.
Yeah, like they added it in a few patches. They actually gave them really good bolt action, which I was so happy about as someone who only plays medics. Where I'm like, everyone else on my team is fighting at like a long range, and I'm sitting there with my little SMG going, "You got it, guys! I support you." Now I can help.
If you die, I'll
get you up. So now I'm happy because I can help.
That when I first played it, because I didn't play much of Battlefield 1.
Yeah.
And then I played a little bit of Battlefield 4, but didn't play as much as I was a lot more in Battlefield 3.
Battlefield 3 was great.
Yes, but when I first played Battlefield 5, I was kind of taken aback by the medic system.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, wait, you're telling me I can just kind of... Like, it makes sense if you can revive your squad, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Like, okay, that I get that, but like, anybody? At first I was kind of apprehensive, but now I don't really care.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like, it's an interesting mechanic, but it's just like, if you go in and... I guess it does prevent, like, say, the lone shooter of, like, getting in there and actually, killing some of your teammate.
Yeah,
but it's just like,
you're going to need your help of your squad.
But it's just like one random guy barges in and kills you, but all your squad mates are there, and so they just get you back up, and you keep on going.
Oh yeah, I have played before. Going off of that directly, as we're like, this was completely dumb, but it was one of the best times I had. Exactly what you're talking about, where all four of us spawned as medics, and just basically leapfrogged our way across the battlefield. Every time one of us would go down, someone would pick us up. So exactly what you're talking about, I have actually seen happen in real life. It's just like, we can never die because we're cycling.
Oh, an 88 millimeter tiger shell.
A little adrenaline will get you.
Yeah.
I love how that's also how you revive in that game, because the defibrillator isn't a thing yet. So you just stab someone with adrenaline. It's like, I got ran over.
One of my favorite things from Battlefield 3 and 4 was the fact that if you do roll the medic, you can kill someone with the defib.
Yeah, like it's an actual melee weapon.
It's a little difficult to get it in, but you can.
Yeah, because you gotta charge it first.
Yeah.
But I love the people who got so good at Battlefield 3 where that was all they would do. They're like, I don't need guns.
I am the power of Zeus. I am the power of life.
More than once, I would watch a kill cam of someone chasing me down at full sprint with defibrillators out. And I'm like, you know what? He deserves the kill.
I have the shocks of light. I can take it and bring it back.
I brought you into this world and I can take you out.
I was that annoying guy in Battlefield 3 where I just ran around with a knife.
No, I was that annoying guy in Call of Duty who just wore a riot shield on his back just so I could sit in a corner and be a turtle. That was how I played Call of Duty.
Oh man, I haven't played Call of Duty since... Oh man, when have I played Call of Duty?
Black Ops was the last one I played. The original Black Ops.
I think I played Black Ops 2. There was a Black Ops 2, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, there was. That was not a fever dream you had. It didn't exist.
I don't know the numbers, Mason. But okay, yeah. No. I think I stopped at 2. But I think the last good ones that, at least the last one in the series, I think was World at War that I like personally.
World at War was fun. It was difficult, but it was fun.
Followed by Modern Warfare 2, like
everyone's favorite.
Everyone's favorite. That was it. Those were 2. Those were the 2 last ones for me.
The whole Pripyat sniping mission.
Fiasco. Yeah.
Oh my god, what was the sniper's name?
I don't remember. It's been a long time since I played Modern Warfare 2.
Was it McGregor?
Well, no, you were playing as Price.
You were playing as Price.
You were playing a young Price.
The only character I remember is Soap.
Yeah, you're playing a young Price in there. He's like, Price, take the shot. And you got the 50 cal and you blow fucking Zakhaev's fucking arm off.
Yeah, only his arm. No matter where you shoot, only his arm fell off.
Listen, it was very well trained.
You know how they came out with the remaster when Advanced Warfare came out?
Yep.
You could actually break the logic of the game because you can lean over and shoot the main bad guy, the actual bad guy,
the big bad. I forget his name too. He was next to you, and it was next to that guy.
The only character I remember is Soap because his name makes me laugh.
What's his name?
Who is Soap?
I don't even think he's in Modern Warfare now. I'm thinking about it.
Soap is Price's friend that you play as in the beginning of the game.
So he was in Modern Warfare?
Yes.
Good. I'm not going insane.
So you were Soap.
You were Soap. I was the dog.
You were Soap when you weren't doing the flashback for the sniping scene.
Okay.
Makarov?
Makarov? Was that his name?
I think that was the main bad guy, Makarov. Because Zakhaev was the dude you blew his arm off.
Yeah, Zakhaev, that sounds right.
Oh.
But yeah, it might have been Makarov. I love how I'm gonna just say McGregor, but I love how he literally gets hit by a helicopter Havoc blades, and he's just like, "Huh, Price, come pick me up." And then he's like, and you're like, "Okay, are you gonna crippled?" No, I'm just a turret now.
Oh yeah.
They built them different.
He doesn't get hit by the. He literally has a helicopter land on him almost.
But you know what? It wasn't his time. He refused to accept death.
I love how you.
I cheated at that part so bad because they give you an infinite time to lay up defenses. So I had 40 claymores just placed everywhere. So I was just sitting there with my guns ready for him, and then.
You know what they were expecting? 2 men. You know what they weren't expecting? A wall of claymores.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, which Call of Duty was it with the AC-130 mission?
That was Modern Warfare.
That was Modern Warfare 2.
Yep. So all the good things I remember from Call of Duty were Modern Warfare 2. Because that mission was actually really fun. Mainly because it was hard to fail.
So in the most recent Call of Duty game, it was kind of going back to the heart of Call of Duty.
Yeah, what everyone fell in love with.
Yeah, because one of their biggest complaints was oh, we want boots on the ground. Well, then they came out with a World War II game that no one really wanted, but people weren't too upset with it. They thought it was a decent enough game.
Yeah, it was passable.
But they all thought they were copying
because it came out right after Battlefield 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard it didn't get received very well at all.
No. Well, what didn't help it was loot boxes.
Yeah, that pissed a lot of people off. But this game was a return to form, and there's a lot of impressive missions in it. And one of them is you're in some Middle Eastern country and you are literally have to defend an American embassy against a wave of bad guys. And it's all dark and shit, so you're sitting there with like no night vision. You're like, oh fuck. Oh fuck. And you can see them moving in the shadows. They're like, unless you see a gun, you have to shoot.
Yeah.
You know, like,
they went back to like, it's less about grand scale stuff like some Call of Duty games. It's more about like operations, like the original.
yeah, they got done with space battles.
Yeah, which was weird. That was a weird.
Never played
that
it.
was a weird
Never
turn to
played
take
it.
for Call of Duty. We're like, guess what? Now we're in space. It's like, where did this come from? The
Like-
last game was like 2019. Now we're like in 2088. What the hell has happened? What happened in between?
Yeah, it was,
Also, because it was like, now we can wall run because that's tactical.
yeah, it
What
was
What was the other game that you could do that?
Advanced Warfare.
Titanfall,
Titanfall.
which I love.
Titanfall was good though.
Titanfall was a game where it's like,
Unfortunately, they got purchased by EA again.
yeah, Titanfall 2 was still good because it gave you a really good story mode too. But like, I love Titanfall because it was one of those games like, there was two games here. There's when you don't have a Titan and when you have a Titan. And they're two separate experiences.
What's the Battle Royale game that they came out with?
Which
oh,
one?
Apex Legends.
Yeah, I love how those are in the same universe.
Right, and we never see a Titan in Apex Legends, and I'm salty about it.
I think that would be a little OP.
No, I'm not as you playing it, like, just they're around. Like a husk of one or something. Because I played Apex Legends when I first played it. I didn't know it was in the same universe as Titanfall. I just knew it was also made by Respawn. And then I saw a gun that I'd used in Titanfall, and I just went, hold up. Wait 5 seconds. And then I found other stuff throughout the world that I was like, this is from Titanfall. Like, this is a ship from Titanfall. And then I looked it up, I'm like, holy shit, this is in Titanfall. It's just like years after the Civil War happened, and they never even tell you that.
Yeah, it's going off of the Apex Hunters from Titanfall 2.
Yeah, but like they never tell you that in
Campaign.
game that it's in the same universe as Titanfall. But that immediately just made me go like, where are the Titans? did we just get rid of them after the Civil War? We're like, nah, we don't need these things anymore. These
There's a
20-foot
Geneva
robots.
Accord. There's a Geneva Accord where you can no longer use Titans.
Like, I would be fine if I found out later that they basically like real steeled the Titans. Like, we can only use them for boxing now. It's just because I want to see two Titans in a boxing ring. Rock 'em, sock 'em, Titans.
All right, what Titan style did you
Ogre.
use? I used the Ronin,
Oh yeah,
the one with the giant sword.
I just loved the ogre because it was just a big boy. It was
Yeah.
a unit.
Yeah.
Also because the voice I gave him, I loved. Just deep and bassy.
The ogre one I had, I named him Igor.
Yeah, same. I think everyone named their ogre Igor. But like, I always set him up as a guardian too, so like I would never be in the Titan. I would just have him follow me around. So like you'd see me come around a corner at full speed, like, oh yeah, that's one dude I got, and then you'd see a freaking Titan come stumbling around like, hello, I am here to end your day. Oh, that was a fun game. I
Yeah.
enjoyed the second one.
Yeah. First one wasn't terrible either. It just didn't have a campaign.
Yeah, but even then, it was still very enjoyable to replay. Because
Fell into that classic trope where games in 2019 weren't allowed to have campaigns.
campaigns don't exist. They're a figment of your imagination.
Campaigns was back in the 1940s.
In my day,
With hoop skirts. And it's the
in
voice
my
you can't-
day, we had a game called Mario.
On
Mario's
something
immortal.
something we called the Game Boy.
It was simple. It was a game. In blue. We had the GameCube. It was cubey.
Oh my god, I think I still have my Game Boy
The
Color.
Game Sphere.
It's spherical.
It's somewhere around my house. My Game Boy Color should be somewhere around my house.
I think I still have my Game Boy Advanced somewhere.
I know my roommate still has his DS.
Oh, I still have my DS. Never got a DS 3D, or 3DS, as they call it.
Yeah, 3DS. I don't know. I mean, I got into the field of I want bigger screens,
Same. That's
Yeah.
PC gaming.
and I mean nothing against handhelds. I just want more real estate.
I want more. I want to be able to look around. I want to move my head to see the left side of the screen.
I want to see this fern in 50 inches in my direction.
I want to see 50 inches of 4K Fern.
That's beautiful. But any shows that you guys are looking forward to?
Shows?
Television series, movies.
Shows I don't really keep track of. They just sort of pop up and I'm like, that looks interesting. I don't know when this came out, but I'm going to watch it now.
Movies have been kind of a big letdown for me. 2019 was
there was some golden
pretty
ones, but there was
shitty
also
year for
some
movies.
Yeah.
Like, in my personal opinion, the only like long running series that I used to watch that landed was Avengers. The ending of Avengers was decent enough to where I was like, I can live with it.
Yeah.
And mind you, I've watched Game of Thrones since the first episode to the last episode. I was like, yeah, this is all fucking garbage. So that literally just destroyed me, and I refused to go see the last Star Wars movie.
Oh my god. Okay, so you haven't seen it.
I know all the ending to it now.
Oh my god. Okay, you don't want to see it, David.
Yeah, let's not spoil it because it's still relatively fresh.
True.
But yeah, I don't want to see it.
See, I don't give J.J. Abrams any shit for it because he had to make up for the last movie.
Yeah, he had a lot to not work with.
It's a lot of perspectives on that, but I just know at least the final product. It's kind of like,
Well, the movie before it was a letdown in many ways, simply because the main plot was the slowest chase scene you've ever seen in your life.
It's a good movie. It's not a good Star Wars movie.
It's Mad Max in space if you slowed it down by 50%.
Now, The Mandalorian was actually a good redeemer.
I have heard a lot about it. I do not have Disney Plus, so I'm never going to see it. But
the only thing I've heard about it was Baby Yoda. That was
Baby Yoda.
God, he's adorable.
It's so smooth.
As soon as he showed up, I'm like, as if anybody kills this kid, all the Mandalorians killing everybody.
But like the galaxy's over if that baby dies.
Yeah.
But I also love the fact that Yoda's species still does not have a canon name. It's just Yoda.
Didn't Lucas give him anything?
No, he refused to.
Yeah, he refused to give it a
name. They asked, what's Yoda's species name? You don't have one.
Because I don't think he ever planned to show another one of Yoda.
There's actually 2 in canon.
And what's his name?
Her name.
What's its name?
Her name was Yaddle.
So we have Yoda and Axolotl.
Interesting.
But yeah, they kind of fucked up because they refused to give that species a name, so they're kind of shoehorned into. They're calling it the child or Baby Yoda,
which everyone in the world knows it as Baby Yoda.
Everyone knows as Baby Yoda.
Which I love the fact that how I got introduced to Baby Yoda was kind of surreal because I didn't know the Mandalorian was a thing. Like I'd never heard anything about it, and I just saw like random pictures of a tiny Yoda. And I'm like, what, if someone photoshopped this? What the hell is this? And I found out, like, no, this is a canon thing that exists now. Just a small Yoda.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just unfortunate where the Star Wars has gone.
They can still redeem it.
They're bringing back Star Wars, the Clone Wars animated series.
Yep.
They're going to finish up the 7th season.
Isn't Rebels also getting a second?
Rebels is getting a continuation series to find Ezra.
Yep.
Seeming that ended with him like going somewhere that no one understood.
Yep. Listen, they can still redeem Star Wars because there's still plenty of legends to draw from.
And they're coming out with the Obi-Wan series.
Kenobi. Yep.
Really? Oh.
Yep, they're coming out with Kenobi. Don't know when, but they keep announcing it.
And it's played by the guy that played him in...
Yeah, Ian McGregor's coming back.
Yes.
Hello there is coming back.
Yeah.
So we're going to see more high ground.
Yeah.
That's all the memes I'm going to throw out today for Ian McGregor. There you go.
Hopefully, yeah.
As for movies, I don't think they're coming out with any other ones.
Well, that was supposed to be the end of the Skywalker saga.
It is, but technically Rey is now a Skywalker.
Yeah, that's what I didn't get. Where they're like, it's
and
the end
that's
of the
not
Skywalker.
A spoiler.
No, but like
she just took the last name.
Yeah, I love how it's like, Lucas is always like the saga. This saga is the Skywalker line. This is the end of the Skywalker line, and then the last movie is literally called Rise of the Skywalker. It's like, so it's not over then.
I thought the original trilogy or the original kind of like setting of movies was just supposed to be
the ones with Darth Vader,
Anakin Skywalker. It was just supposed to be about his conception to his death.
Yeah, the original saga was just supposed to be how he was born and how his journey ended.
And how he set the balance.
Yep.
Which perfectly
didn't.
Well, he technically did. He killed all the Jedi and then he destroyed all the Sith. He restored balance.
Didn't, because Palpatine's alive.
Okay, before they ruined it with retconning it.
Yeah, no, that's
J.J. Okay. So this is the funniest fucking.
He blew up twice.
This is the funniest joke I've ever seen in the history of the world. Before the events of Revenge of the Sith, 40,000 Jedi, 2 Sith. After the events of Return of the Jedi, 2 Sith, 2 Jedi.
Balance. Achieved. But no, I don't know how Palpatine's alive. He blew up twice. Because you see him blow up with his sword in the reactor, and then the entire Death Star blows up. So apparently Sith Lords are just like cockroaches.
Yeah,
even to the vacuum of space.
Right, like they're just so angry you can't kill them.
Their hate will sustain.
Right.
The one thing that I never really got, and my friend brought this up, and I can never now think about it, is that like the whole entire actual like setting of Star Wars, like. If I forget about it, I can live with it. But if my friend brings it up and keeps on bringing it up, and I can't forget it again, I'm just like, that doesn't make any sense. So like, okay, so we have the rebels, right? It's a small little organization.
Yep, the remnants of the New Republic.
Remnants, and then we have a galactic empire. Galactic. Yep. You don't get that name for being a small empire.
No.
They run the entire galaxy. And you're telling me a hodgepodge of people destroyed a galactic empire?
Here's something else, Ian, because I'm a nerd and I look into this stuff way too much. Do you want to know what makes the entire original series of Rebels versus Galactic Empire even like dumber?
What?
You've seen the prequels, right?
Yeah.
You know what the Separatists are, right?
The droids people, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the main manufacturing planets of the Separatists became rebels, and they never used the droid army. That is canon.
That would be really cool if they actually implemented that.
Right?
Because that would be such a switch.
Right? But yeah, I found out a lot of the Separatist worlds became rebels, but they never used this massive droid army they've been building for the last God knows how many years.
It's like, Roger, we're on the good side.
They're now painted with, like, rebel colors.
It's that I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, like, that's some deep lore shit. But, like, so, like, I'm thinking, like, so why on the Battle of Hoth do you just have, like, 10,000 B-1 battle droids sitting there going, no. Leave.
Negative.
And just shooting AT-ATs.
And with the spider droids.
Yeah, just a bunch of droidicas rolling like frisbees.
Oh, yeah, no.
I love the droidicas because they are so dumb. Like, let's have a thing that just rolls.
If they came down a hallway at you, I bet your ass would run.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, what I love about it is, like, we made this thing roll, but it can't shoot while rolling. It just rolls.
Yeah.
Those things were terrifying.
They were, and I love them.
Those things were terrifying in Republic Commando.
Yes.
Like, when they were moving, like, you're like, oh my god, kill him, quick.
Kill him before the shield comes up.
All I know is my favorite part from the Clone Wars, and then the subsequent Revenge of the Sith and those. Yep. My favorite part is from the clone Attack of the Clones, where the B-1 battle droid gets hit and it's kind of like limp, and the B-2 walks up, Super Battle Droid walks up and just bitch slaps him out of the way.
I love the B-2 Super Droid because it's just like, here we have the B-1 who is essentially a twink, and then we have the B-2 who's just this big unit.
There's quite the difference between 1 and 2.
You want to know
we had a huge leap here.
You want to know the funniest thing is you can play those in the Star Wars Battlefront 2 game.
Yep.
If you play as a Separatist, and they have that ability. It's their supercharge that they get. So you're just and you could just mow people with it.
I have become gun.
Yeah, he literally just becomes the definition of pain.
I also learned something interesting from one of my friends too. Is that apparently there's in canon in Star Wars there's a species, I think it's a species, that isn't affected by the Force.
Yeah, the Yuuzhan Vong.
They're not canon anymore.
The legend now. Which is basically Disney going, we're going to keep this in our back pocket in case we need it.
Yeah.
But it's not canon, so just leave it over there.
Yeah.
No, what I love is that Sith isn't the original name of the dark side users. That's just a species they found.
Yeah.
And then, like, commingled with and then took their name.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, the Sith were like an actual species that were like sensitive to only the dark side of the Force and were really good at it. And a bunch of dark side Jedi got exiled on their planet, and they're like, "Well, we're here now. Let's become Sith."
The origins of the Force from Legends books that I have read. There were 2 planets that circled the same star.
Mm-hmm.
One was more influenced by the dark side of the Force, and one was more focused by the light. To keep balance with each other, when one became more powerful than the other, they would just switch worlds.
Oh, no. What you're thinking of is the Jedi, which are the precursors to the Jedi.
Yeah, but eventually...
I know, good naming convention, right?
But eventually, the some of the Jedi didn't want to give up their power, so they literally stayed evil, and then they moved to another planet and became the Sith.
Well, no, what actually happened, it's very similar to that, but it's like the Jedi are assholes. Pretty much what happens in Legend.
Oh, the Sith are cooler.
Because basically what happened was the Jedi believed in balance in the Force. Like, you don't go too far good, don't go too far evil, just stay in the middle. So if you started to become more evil or more good, they would send you to the opposite planet to, like, temper yourself. Well, a couple Jedi, the good boys, decided, no, fuck that. Let's just be good. And then they outlawed all dark side Force, but a couple people who were like, oh, I kind of like doing this. So the good side were like, well, get the fuck off our planet. And they like exiled them away. So of course that really pissed off the ones. And they're like, fine, well, we're just gonna come over here and be evil. Fuck you.
Yeah. I'm gonna sit on top of my throne with a big crown and
So like the Jedi literally created the Sith by just being assholes.
Yeah.
And not letting this like small group of people who just wanted to like use Force lightning just do their thing.
Lighting's cool, guys. Plasma. No. Oh.
You must be celibate and never have emotions.
I don't like that. So I'm gonna go back to this planet.
I'm gonna go over here where I can be cool.
We're gonna go back over there and have kids.
And be like, oh god,
But,
Jedi.
It's. I never knew so much about that, so it's kind of interesting finding it out. Because
Yeah, I've been
I
watching.
know a lot about Star Wars.
Yeah, I get bored at work, so I just watch YouTube channels about like the deep lore of Star Wars because there's just so much there.
oh yeah,
I've actually forgotten more about Star Wars than I remember.
Yeah.
Which there's actually I'm not gonna get into that because it's not necessary.
but no, it's
So Star Trek, guys.
No.
Star Trek.
No.
Let's go on the other side of the field.
I
know nothing about Star Trek.
Yeah, I hate Star Trek.
I don't hate it. I just don't know much about it.
I
hate
mean,
Star Trek.
you know,
Besides the Borg.
the movie, I found them visually appealing.
Good.
You know, I liked, as much sense as it made. I liked when we're in warp. Why is it catching up to us?
We're going faster than light. Well, they're going faster than light.
What do you mean? That's not how
That's not how this works.
It's like, wait a minute. I
Not
am
it.
Khan. The great and powerful. Do pay no attention to that behind the from Khan to the Wizard of Oz.
Oh god.
Now,
I like the sabotage
now,
scene in the one movie.
if we talked about Lord of the Rings, I could really dump some info on you, my guy.
Lord of the Rings is good.
I like Lord of the Rings. I watched The Hobbit in the wrong order, though.
What order did you watch it in?
I watched it in a really weird order. It was like, I think it was 2, then 3, and then 1.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no.
So you got to the punchline before you even
Got to the joke, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just like, Because I think I went with my friend, and he's just like, "Yeah, you want to see this movie?" I'm like, "Sure." I'm like, "What is it?" "Oh, The Hobbit." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then I'm watching it, I'm like, "I don't get it." It's like, "Oh yeah, it's the second one." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Cool.
It's not like I wanted to watch the first one at
Right.
all.
I was like, "All right, I guess I'll watch the first one eventually in my existence."
So, I grew up watching The Lord of the Rings. I watched The Fellowship, Twin Towers, and then Return of the King. And then when The Hobbits came out, I watched The Hobbit, Unexpected Journey,
Desolation of Smaug.
Desolation of Smaug, and Battle of Five Armies. And then I did this thing that because we used to have a camper up north, and I used to have a lot of free time when I used to go up there by myself. So I would watch them in the chronological order. So it'd be The Hobbit, Unexpected Journey, Desolation of Smaug, Battle of Five Armies, then Fellowship of the Ring. Mind you, meanwhile, I actually read parts of the Silmarillion and got into it enough to where I learned how to speak black speech. Because
When you got time.
because Sauron is the dude, and I would totally work for him if he was real. I would submit myself to Sauron's rule because the Nazgul are badass.
Yeah, I mean, I only at least kind of remember like
The Nazgul.
the three main movies that everyone knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, the original trilogy.
Schmeagol.
Yes, the ring.
Which in all actual like truth, him falling into the pit of spoilers. If you haven't seen Return of the King,
It's older than we are.
Oh, not true, but when he hits the lava, in actuality, the ring would have instantly sunk, and Schmeagol would have been floating for a while.
Yes. So Smeagol got to go downstream.
Which is kind of terrifying when you think about it. A human body, if you fall on lava, you will actually float for a while.
Yeah, it's not fun. What they did to Smeagol was not great.
No.
Poor man.
Smeagol.
Poor man.
Poor small man.
Didn't deserve that.
He was too far. He didn't earn that. Yeah, he just bit some guy's fingers off, but like he didn't deserve that.
Nah.
He was too far gone to save.
He was way far gone.
Not falling down a pit of lava. Come on, no,
That's just too much.
That's too much. Maybe like just a nice little nuzzle in the bed when you're falling asleep.
A little.
Throw him to the giant spider.
A little death powder on his palm for him to sniff.
Just nice and calm and peaceful.
I love how we're talking about a guy who literally moments before his death bit off someone's finger for a piece of jewelry.
I mean, it was moments before his death. It was a very dire situation.
It was hot. It was weird. It was bright.
Yeah, but I was pretty deep into the Lord of the Rings stuff. It's just a fascinating world because Tolkien was a genius.
Also, Tolkien wrote the world before he wrote the story.
He actually wrote the language before he.
Well, yeah, he was a linguist.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's very impressive. I'm very impressed by those kind of people.
Yeah,
I take a lot of inspiration for them.
Wow.
Like, one of the shittiest facts is the fact he died before he could finish the Dwarvish language.
Yeah, it's the only language I believe that is not complete 100%. So, like, if you, Nick, you can never speak to the dwarves.
See, the genius of it is he developed
I think
Elvish first.
Yeah, Quenya first.
And
because everyone loves elves.
And Elvish,
he loved elves.
and all dark speech is
backwards.
Elvish backwards, which it's. I mean, in technicality, if you know black speech, you can technically speak Elvish. It's just not the same.
I love the fact that he gave it like a really fancy name. He's like, "What do elves speak? Quenya. What do dwarves speak? Kazan."
Because it sounds more, at least like, at least when you think of elf, you think of like, oh, like this
flowery and beautiful,
not the fairy tale elf which is imprisoned by fairies. But
the technical name for black speech is Kazakh Dadur.
Yeah, because Tolkien loved
or something like that.
Syllables. Seriously, some of the names are long.
Yeah, like okay. Sauron's castle is called Barad-dûr.
Yep,
you know what Barad-dûr means in black speech?
Black Gate?
Dark Tower.
Oh,
Black
that's
Gate's
close.
next to it. It actually is. I'm not even going to joke about that. It's like the giant gate they found in front of it is Black Gate.
Well, look at that. That's pretty close.
Black Tower or Dark Tower
Next to the Black Gate.
Mm-hmm.
in the land of darkness. It's
They
literally
need better naming
literally
convention in that place.
Mordor in like multiple translations just means land of death, land of darkness, or the land of the dark ones.
We get it. You don't have sun.
We get it. You live in the ash cloud of Mount Doom.
We get it. You don't have photosynthesis.
Jeez, get over it already. God.
You know, and it's funny. Everyone's like, "Oh, he got his ideas for Lord of the Rings because he fought in World War One." No, he wrote most of the Lord of the Rings before he went to
He wrote
World
the
War
Hobbit
One.
first.
Yeah, like you can see it in his writings because he was all about dragons and shit before he went to World War One. After World War One, it's like there's this dark, evil entity that brings chaos, and
Also,
pain, and suffering.
I've mentioned this a lot, but we're recording it now, so I can say it again. Smaug is so small compared to the other dragons in Middle Earth. He's like the smallest.
Okay, so Smaug is
He's a bad man.
inconsiderate to Arcalagath the Black,
He's like the biggest.
which is the biggest Drake in history. When he died, he literally sank half of a continent when
He
he
was
impacted the Earth.
He was like a mountain. And then you see
That's more than a mountain if you sink half a continent.
he got a ship drove through his chest. Give him a break.
Yeah.
A ship drove through his chest.
That's actually what
Yeah,
happened.
that is actually there was an elvish hero that had a flying ship that he sped up to the speed of a falling star and literally slammed it.
Excuse me.
None of this is hyperbole.
And slammed it through Alcalagath the Black's chest, killing him.
Okay.
None of this is a metaphor.
But the fucking scary part is no one really talks about it. And
Why?
And Sauron himself wanted to use it, but he never could harness the power. Arcalagath the Black is dead, but his fire still burns. So literally, you could unleash his flames upon the world if you could use it.
Open him up.
But every time anybody's ever tried to touch his flames, it literally disintegrates them.
Well, this man sent a
boat.
a ship at the speed of like a falling star,
it's-
which is pretty fast. You know, like maybe we're looking around Mach 100.
And the way the art looks, it's no bigger than a Viking longboat too.
Well, to be fair, at that speed, it doesn't matter the size.
No,
He used the ship like a railgun.
that's basically a railgun at that
My
point.
question is, he was on the boat when it went through the dragon. Did he live?
Oh no, he knew it. He knew what was coming. He chose his fate.
No. I mean,
Listen. This guy knew that
Which
he was going to.
he actually did survive.
Like
'cause
this man knew he was going to live forever, so he had the chance to go out in like the most badass
I'm
way
killing
possible.
a dragon with a flying ship.
I'm essentially headbutting a dragon at Mach 500.
The fact that I know he lived is because he's technically Aragorn's like ancestor.
Like he had kids
Yeah.
because he could have had kids before he headbutted a dragon at Mach
no,
500.
you gotta assert dominance first.
You gotta
T-pose into the
you
dragon.
gotta prove your worthiness to your mate. Like killing the biggest dragon in
Like
history.
imagine hearing about that somewhere across the planet where you're like, oh yeah, there's this big dragon, like east. Oh no, that's dead. The fuck do you mean it's dead? Some guy just drove a ship through it. The fuck do you mean a guy drove a ship through it?
You just put a giant spear on a
okay.
mandolin and just send boom.
Okay, my question to you is there was a part in like the second age of Lord of the Rings or of Middle Earth where
Middle Earth's like one continent on the entire planet.
there's
I'm
it's
not even
actually-
joking
it's-
about that.
It's there's quite a few other. There's the Undying Lands, and then there's the parts that got sank into the sea by Alcalagath the Black.
Yep.
And then there's what remains of Middle Earth, and then there's land down past Mordor that no one talks about,
There's also the
which
fact
is called the Easterlings.
that, which also Middle Earth doesn't even take up all the continent. It's like the east part.
Yeah, there's a huge.
It's not that the entire events of these books take place in like New Zealand. I know it was filmed there, but like literally, like landmass wise, it didn't take mud. It didn't take place in like a big area.
No.
It's like taking place in like the size of like a land mass size of like Africa and Europe when the whole world is like 3 times the size of every continent that we know of.
So like this, everything that happened here was like a minor skirmish on like a world scale.
Yeah,
But
just...
it was the fate of all creation. But
This tiny archipelago.
But during the second or third age of Middle Earth, basically everyone knew Sauron was a dick because he served his boss Morgoth,
Yep.
and Morgoth was sent to the abyss to no longer exist. But so they're like, oh, we can't trust you, so we'll make you like a slave, not really a slave. We'll make you like a political prisoner on Numenor, which Numenor was an island of humans, the most advanced humans in all time.
They don't exist anymore.
They're like,
Of course,
but-
all advanced
They got
civilizations never.
flooded.
but Sauron was like, hey to the king, hey, we're buds. I know I did some bad things, but we're buds. He's like, yeah, you have been fairly honest with me, Sauron. What would you like? He's like, well, you know how over there's land that you could conquer? You should go conquer it. It's yours if you want it. You have the biggest navy in history.
Can I interject for a second? I love the voice you gave Sauron. I'm just like, hey, we cool. Hey,
Yeah.
buddy. Hey,
We're
bro.
bros.
It's like, I love your Sauron voice.
But so the king of Numenor was like, yeah, we're gonna go take that land. The gods were not happy with it. So in despite of that, they sank his fleet and then sank his island nation.
You know,
But Sauron was like, wait, you're sinking the island, but I'm on the island. He died too.
his physical body just ended.
He lost his ability to change his form, and he lost his physical body.
That's why he's just a suit of armor.
Yeah, but at this point, he already had the One Ring forged.
Yep.
So
Also, wasn't there a time where Sauron got into a fist fight with someone as a werewolf and lost?
he got into a fight with a guy in the form of a giant wolf, and that was the same dude that flew the boat through the fucking dragon.
Wasn't it a thing where like the wolf could only die under very specific circumstances?
Yeah. It's the
I
same.
don't remember the specific circumstances, but it was like a thing of like the wolf could only be killed under very specific, like exacting circumstances, and Sauron's just like, well, screw that, I'm going to become a giant wolf and fist fight him, and then lost.
Yeah, see, there's also the tale of the Witch King of Angmar. His whole thing where no man can kill me.
Yep.
So the whole thing was the Witch King of Angmar was serving as like a proxy to Sauron, while Sauron was rebuilding his strength after being smited by the gods into the ocean. And because for some reason the all-powerful gods that made Middle Earth was like, yeah, Morgoth was a dick, so we sent him to the abyss, but you're his like lieutenant. We're not going to do that to you because you're not as evil.
Well, it's also because Sauron came back after being, flooded. And he's just like, guys, Morgoth's gone. He was totally controlling me that whole time.
Yeah.
I'm not evil. He
Wink,
made
wink.
me do it. Wink, wink, wink.
But
and they're
so,
just like, yeah, cool, yeah, we believe you.
so the Witch King of Angmar, he was a powerful sorcerer that got one of the rings to become the first Nazgul. That's why he's the Lord of the Nazgul.
Which, by the way, that's not a very good bragging, right? We're like, no man can kill me. You know, like, men is like one race on this entire planet.
That's actually where it came from. So the Witch King of Angmar had an army of undead serving under him, and he kept attacking this elvish city, and they were supported by the first men of Gondor. So it was the elves and the first Gondorian men were fighting them off, and he, out of the pack of elves and men, stood 2 men: the ancestor of Aragorn and the ancestor of Lord Elrond, his like father or grandfather, which were basically the greatest swordsmen in history. Here stomps out fucking the Witch King of Angmar, and he's like, I curse you in all the ground you stand on. No man shall ever kill me. They're like, but he's an elf. And he's like, right, shit. Then I'll kill you instead. Kills Aragon's ancestor, and the elf strikes him in the chest, the Witch King Agmar in the chest, but doesn't kill him. He's able to retreat and flee.
Like, I love how he makes that boast like he's proud of it, but it's like, like elves, dwarves,
Women.
ants,
Women.
Like, that's not a good claim. Like, you're basically saying 1% of the planet can't kill me.
It's just that 1% that's gonna screw him, though.
Like, there's so many other things in the world that can kill him that it's like, cool, and a duck can kill me if it's really dedicated. Good for you.
Freaking druids.
A fucking rabbit with rabies can literally infect you and you die.
So on that brilliant note of the Witch King Agmar having the worst boast in history, I think we get to wrap it up. It has been a very wonderful podcast. It's been wonderful talking to you guys.
I'm extremely tired.
Yeah, it's pretty early here, and there's a snowstorm going on because snow.
What better time to do a podcast in the middle of a snowstorm?
We're indoors, we're warm, we got coffee. But yeah, it's been.
That was the shittiest coffee I've ever had.
It's not that bad. You just don't like it when it doesn't have that much creamer in it.
I don't like that creamer either.
Why'd you buy it then? You bought it.
It's my dad's creamer. Thank you very much.
On that note,
I just put 4 giant scoops of sugar in it.
You want some coffee with your
sugar?
sugar?
I want my diabetes coffee. Leave me alone.
But yeah, it's been great talking to you guys. Hope we get to do this again. And
bye bye.
Bye bye.
See ya.